The intercepts on a graph is where that graph crosses the x and y axis, this being our x-axis and this being our y-axis. This graph is going to cross the x-axis at -6, so we would say the x-intercept is the ordered pair -6, 0. The graph crosses the y-axis at the y value -3. So we say that the y-intercept is the ordered pair 0, -3. Let's notice that for any x-intercept, the y-coordinate of that x-intercept is equal to 0, and for any y-intercept, the x-coordinate of that ordered pair will also be 0. We can use that fact to help us find the x and y intercepts if we're looking to do that algebraically and not on a graph. If we have an equation and we're asked to find the x-intercepts, what we'll need to do is plug in y is equal to 0, because any x-intercept where it crosses the x-axis is going to have a y-coordinate of 0 of the ordered pair, so we plug that y is equal to 0 into the equation and figure out who is the x-coordinate that makes that happen. That will give me my x-intercept. Similarly, to find the y-intercept algebraically, we're going to use what we know about y-intercepts, which is that if I'm an ordered pair on the y-axis, the x-coordinate has to be 0. So we plug in x is equal to 0 into the equation and solve for the y value that makes that happen. So let's look at an example. We're going to find the x and y-intercepts algebraically using what we've just learned. In order to find the x-intercept algebraically, what we're going to do is plug in y is equal to 0 into the equation and solve for x. And so we'll recopy our equation for y. We're going to open up a hole for that y variable because we're about to plug 0 in for it, but we're going to leave the x value in the equation. That's what we're trying to solve for. We want to figure out who is the x value that causes that y coordinate to be 0. So we're plugging in 0 for y and solving for x. 4 times 0 is 0, minus 6x is equal to 24. So we have -6x is equal to 24, and then when we divide both sides by -6, we get that x is equal to -4. So our x-intercept, written as an ordered pair, is going to have an x-coordinate of 4 and a y-coordinate of 0. So this linear equation is going to have an x-intercept at -4, 0, and let's plot that on our Cartesian plane. So then, in order to find the y-intercept algebraically, we're going to plug in x is equal to 0 into the equation and solve for y. Because a y-intercept is on the y-axis, and any ordered pair on the y-axis has an x-coordinate of 0. So we recopy the equation. This time we hold on to the y. We're trying to solve for y, and we're going to plug 0 in for x. So we open up a hole there and then plug in that x is equal to 0 quantity. We then simplify to get 4y is equal to 24, and then when we divide both sides by 4, we get y is equal to 6. So the y-intercept is the ordered pair where when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 6. So we'll plot 0, 6 as the y-intercept on our Cartesian plane, and then we connect those two dots with a line. This is a linear equation, and a linear equation is going to have a graph that's a line. And so we can use these two intercepts, the x and y intercept, to give us two ordered pairs on that line, and then connect those two intercepts to come up with the graph.